guys, welcome back to Queen G's Recipes, and today I'm going to be showing you how I like to make my homemade cinnamon apple cake with caramel drizzle. So what we will be needing are 3/4 cups of softened butter. You're also going to be needing 1 1/4 cups of white granulated sugar, 2 whole eggs, 1 3/4 cups of flour, and into the flour I have added 1 teaspoon of baking powder, 1 teaspoon of baking soda, and 1 teaspoon of cinnamon. I have also added 1/8 teaspoon of salt in here as well. Here we have 2 cups of diced apples. You can use any apples of your choice. In here I have mixed my apples with 2 tablespoons of flour, 1 teaspoon of cinnamon, and about 1 tablespoon of fresh lemon juice. You'll also be needing 3/4 cups of sour cream and some vanilla extract as well. Also be needing a 9-inch springform cake pan, which I have previously already sprayed with non-stick spray. You can also put some butter in your pan, that's fine as well. I've also added a piece of round parchment paper that is optional, but I do find it easier to remove the cake once it has been baked. So let's move on to the next step. We'll be using an electric handheld whisk, but you can use a spatula and a regular whisk, but you have to make sure that your butter is truly really softened at room temperature for quite some time, for quite a few hours. And or even a standing mixer, you can use whatever you like, but honestly just a handheld electric whisk will work perfectly, or a spatula. Okay, so into our bowl I have added my butter, and now we're going to add our sugar, and we're going to whisk that together. Okay, so into our butter and sugar mixture we're going to add in our eggs. Both at a time is fine, and we're going to give that another nice whisk. Okay, and now we're going to add in our 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract. Now make sure that you mixed this mixture for at least 3 minutes. You're gonna need the mixture to be nice and fluffy, just as you can see there. And then we'll give this another little whisk. Okay, that's good enough. And now we're going to add in our sour cream. And give that another whisk for about 30 seconds or so. Now with just a spoon, we're just going to incorporate our dry ingredients together, just to kind of make sure they're all mixed in before we place it into our wet mixture. Okay, so into our wet ingredients mixture, we're going to add half of our flour mixture. And with our mixer on low, or even with a spatula, we are going to mix the first half. Now make sure when you're adding in your dry ingredients, now we're going to add in the second portion, make sure when you're adding the first or the second portion that you do not overmix. Just mix until the flour is all incorporated with the wet mixture. Now once our mixture is all completely mixed together, we are going to place it into our prepared cake pan. And just gently spread it. So at this point, you're just gonna have to make sure that your oven is preheated at 350 degrees Fahrenheit. And now we're going to take our apple mixture and we're going to spread it all over our cake batter. Now make sure that your cake batter is evenly spread so that your cake also bakes evenly. So now we're gonna take our apples and place them on top. Now there's no right or wrong way of doing this, just spread the apples evenly all over the cake batter. Now, if you are using a spring form pan, make sure that you do use a cookie sheet under your pan just in case any liquid seep through. You don't want to mess in your oven. And now for the topping, so we can place on top of our apples before we place our cake into the oven. We are going to be needing 3 tablespoons of brown sugar and 1/4 cup of butter. It actually should be cold out of the fridge and not softened. And now we're just gonna crush it all together and place it on top of our cake before placing it into the oven. So now I will be placing it into our preheated oven at 350 degrees Fahrenheit. Okay guys, so my cake was in the oven for 1 hour and 17 minutes, and now we're going to let it cool off for about 10 to 15 minutes before cutting into it and drizzling our caramel sauce. So before you actually release the pan from the cake, you want to make sure that you run a butter knife along the edges just to make sure everything is loose, and then you can plate it. Okay guys, so here you have it, our cinnamon apple cake drizzled with caramel sauce. What we're gonna do now is just gonna drizzle with a little bit of store-bought caramel sauce. Okay, and you're ready to serve. You can have it with the caramel sauce, without, it's totally up to you, but I do believe that the caramel adds a little bit extra to it. So here you have it guys. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already so you can see my future videos, and take care. Thanks for watching. See you in my next video. Bye.